Hello, hello, hello. So, you've come to my webpage, Kabbalah On Money. Safe to assume that A, you believe in money, and B, you believe in Kabbalah, and you're looking for the two of them to coincide, and you want a trick on how to make some money. Well, here's the good news. I've got 10 tricks right below, verifiable, real tricks that really work. I want to just do a little video to tell you everything you need to know about money, about making money, and perhaps some things that you may not be aware of. The first thing is, what's the deal with money? Some people say money is the root of all evil. We Jews say money is the greatest blessing, for it allows us to do the greatest mitzvah, the greatest good deed, giving charity, helping others. In fact, studies show that money will not make you happy, but giving away money will make you happy. And so therefore, like everything that God made, everything is a double-edged sword. Take sex. Everybody and their brother, certainly in the media, they're all into it. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Some religions look at it like this and look at it like that. Bottom line is, it depends. If it's used for unity, for having children, used the way God wants us, the best thing in the world. If it's, let's use the word abused, if it's not used in the way that God wants, it's the worst thing in the world. It distracts you from a meaningful, productive life. In fact, it could be a source of ego, demeaning. So not only is it a distraction, it debases you and destroys your soul in this world and the next. And the same thing is with money. Money should be there. You should be wealthy. You should be healthy, you should be happy, you should have good relationships, you should have children and nachas and pleasure, and you should grow. But if the money is just there because we have this gaping hole and we don't know if we're worthy or we're not, and we think, well, if we have money, maybe somebody won't shame me, maybe they'll even give me a little honor. So as Warren Buffett, one of the richest people and one of the most generous people in all of history, says, those people, and obviously he knows them and they work for him, that make a lot of money and have their name on buildings, it means nothing. Love, having people that love you, that means everything. So the first thing to know about money is that, again, money is a wonderful thing. You should have as much of it as possible. As long as you remember it is a means to an end. And the end is that you should be able to give charity. You should be able to provide for yourself comfortably, your family comfortably. And that's it. That's the whole story of money. There's no other story. It's a tool to be used to do good and to obviously, hopefully live in comfort. And once it gets out of that bracket, once it's not about that anymore, then it's already, like we gave the example from sex, it can be highly distracting. And not only distracting, it could even be destructive. So you have to know, and that's why my 10 points is on, it's been a while since I wrote it, but I think it's attaining positive wealth. That's a very important thing, that it's positive money. Now, in terms of making money, since I've written this article, which really many thousands, if not tens of thousands of people have seen it, I've learned a lot more. I've actually translated a book from the Rebbe, one of the greatest, if not the greatest Jewish master, who was one of the great proponents of making money, even though he was a Jewish master, because of the good it can do. And so I've got a couple more tricks up my sleeve, and I want to share with you in a video presentation, because some of us like video better, and I need to upgrade that video. And a couple of points. The first point is, You have to think rich. And this point really changed my life. It's a point that he got from his father-in-law, the previous Rebbe. And that is that you have to see yourself as a wealthy person. And when you see yourself in that way, and you're not like worried about money, you open up the channel. And a lot of us grew up with parents that were worried about money, and so we don't really have an open channel to money. As the Talmud says, if you're counting your money, you're cursing your money. It should be open. Money comes, money goes, let it flow. Let it be like you wouldn't close your faucet. Do I have enough water? You let it flow. Doesn't mean you're an idiot. Doesn't mean you waste your money. But it means you think expansively about it. I'm happy to make purchases. I'm happy to buy. I'm happy to give. Not to be basically cheap. That's not a way to make money. You have to be expansive. Very important to be joyous. I was the rabbi of a resort town, and I had many millionaires, billionaires there. I once asked myself, what do these people have in common? And I have to say that it's two things. One of them being joy. If you look at a guy like Warren Buffett, no offense, Mr. Warren, he's not the greatest genius in the world, but he's a happy person. And happiness is a conduit for all the blessings in the world. Because when you're happy, you're making God happy. And so therefore, just be happy. Celebrate life. Don't be miserable. It's not worth it. Open yourself to the blessings of the world. The other thing about money is respect. God is the parent of all. He wants us all to have what we want. He wants us all to be happy. But in order to make us all happy, if I am rude to you, I disrespect you, I start to close off my blessing channel. And that's why it's very interesting. The first thing that they ask you when you get to heaven, according to the Jewish sages that obviously know what they were talking about, is, were you honest in business? Honesty is integrity. It's integral. Why? Because God wants the world to be a place where we all feel safe. Never mind loved, just safe. If I have to worry about getting ripped off from you, I can't function properly. The brain can only function in safety. And so you have to be 100% careful. Better to lose $1 million and keep your word than to rip off a person even over $1. Because once you do that, you're breaking your blessings. Your blessings come from honesty. That means all your business affairs, treat the other person as they are you. The same way you wouldn't want someone to mess up your, even $1, because it's not the issue of the money. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to take something of mine. That's the issue. And therefore you have to be respectful of other people's time. In Judaism, if you have a day worker or a plumber comes, you got to pay him that day. Can't just mess around people with their bills. You got to be respectful of the bills you have. You have to be respectful of the money that is interchanging with you. That's a very important principle. And I'll conclude with the last principle, and I'm certain it's the most important principle. Even if you didn't do the other three, this one's going to work. And that is, as our sages say, it's actually brought down in Jewish law. What comes down in Jewish law is the most precise Judaism that exists. Kabdu es neshechem, honor your wives, and God will make you rich.